Hi there, it's me, Anatoly Berikov, and today we're gonna work on our, I think, second tutorial that I wanna dedicate to cool aesthetic that I found on Instagram and was an aesthetic that was made by cool Ukrainian artist Vasya Kolotooosha. One thing straight ahead though, that these tutorials, I mean particularly this one and any other tutorial that hopefully will I'm gonna release soon, they're not dedicated to any kind of stealing or kind of straightforward copying or something like that. So my overall goal here is to show how to, first of all, of course, to help, as I said in previous tutorial, to help young artists, art directors, and like a junior artists to solve their technical or artistic problems. And the second thing that probably the most important to me personally, that by showing how to achieve and make different aesthetics, hopefully by doing this we kind of push boundaries forward, because I think the main thing in in the internet, I mean in at least in my virtual bubble, is that all visual trends kind of stick to kind of big piles, to big bubbles, and they therefore move really slowly. So in my opinion, by showing and replicating other aesthetics, we kind of everyone probably should start feel tired of them, and therefore hopefully something new should emerge. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so this is Instagram of our artist for today, Kolotooosha. He's artist, I think like a 3D artist and illustrator from Ukraine. And here you can see his works, all of them beautiful and really vibrant. There are like a lot of colors and super sweet kind of smudged reflections. So today we're gonna try to achieve one of these kind of look and feel pictures. I think overall this aesthetic, this kind of look is actually super clear and pretty straightforward. And the main kind of algorithm here is the next one. First, you need a colorful, vibrant HDRI map with a nice smudged lights on it. Second, you need metal material. And third, you just need a good 3D model or some kind of thing with some history or something that's going on here. So colorful HDRI, metal material, 3D object. Main idea behind the HDRI is the next one. First things first, the aspect ratio for HDRI map should be 2:1. So here I have like a 4K in width and 2K in height. You can draw your HDRI map. You can use one of those, or you can draw one of yours. It's up to you. Here you just need to experiment and try to find something that works for you. I'd say that overall rule that there should be probably like different points of light as here. As you can see here, there are like different soft boxes and point lights and so on. And the main trick here is that in order to achieve our look, as you can see here, there are kind of something in reflections is going on here. And in order to achieve this, you need to kind of smooch our HDRI. In Photoshop, you can use probably liquify effect. In After Effects, you can use turbulent displays. Here, I already made turbulent displays effect and put it on top of the HDRI. And as soon as I turn it on, you can see basically we kinda distorting our HDRI map, and basically those distortions, this is probably what is gonna give you the most kind of intricate thing in this look and feel. So these nice smudges here or here, for example, this is what these lines, these distorted turbulent lines, this is kind of main thing in our HDRI thing. Okay, so here I have my model. It's a sport glasses model. One thing straight ahead, that as you can see, the wireframe on this model is not quite, it isn't quite correct. Actually, I'd say I even can say that it's bad. So when you're looking for a model, try to avoid triangles. Try to get models that have only squares. So simple rule: triangles are bad, rectangles are good. Here I already have set up my camera. I changed the in the camera, I changed the focal length to 19 millimeters to slightly get rid of the perspective and therefore give the rendered picture slightly product-like look. I'm going to show you how to achieve this our like look and feel in Arnold render, Octane render, and standard render. So first of all, let's start with standard render. What you need to do: you need to create a sky, create material, double click here, drag and drop your material on the sky, go to your material, turn off color, turn off reflectance, turn on luminance, and here in texture you need to choose one of the HDRIs. For this scene I choose this HDRI, and now I'm going to create a metal material. Double click here, double click, turn off color, reflectance, add GGX, turn off default specular, and drag and drop your material on sport glasses. In your case, it's going to be something different, like I don't know, your model basically. Okay, so going back to beginning of the tutorial, when I told you about the wireframe. So as soon as I apply subdivision generator to the model, you're probably gonna get, as you can see, those like artifacts. And the reason for that is because we have our wireframe, like our 3D model wireframe has triangles. That's why we still can see the polygons here. So you can go for different subdivision type smoothing types and try to find that works better for you. But in order to get rid of those artifacts, just try to avoid download model with any like triangles. Okay, now we can rotate our sky object in order to find nice reflections on the object. Okay, this works okay. Okay, cool. Now right mouse button on the sky, render text, compositing, and here and tab seen by camera, turn off. So after you're doing this, you basically turn off the sky from the render view, but it still affects the object. Okay, cool. Let's go to our render settings. Let's go for physical render, sampler. Let's go for medium. Save. Here you can choose your format. I'm going for PNG, 16-bit, and alpha channel if I want to have transparency instead of black background. Output 2K, current frame. Press render. Okay, now let's do the same with Arnold render. Delete all materials and sky object. Turn off your subdivision Subdivision surface, Arnold Sky. Go to Arnold Sky, main tab, right to the color, press on that arrow and choose structure, choose your HDRI. Done. Create Arnold surface, standard surface material. Open it, turn down roughness and turn on metalness. Drag and drop on your object. Go to Arnold tab, HDRI window. Okay, the last thing is to smooth our object. You might not need it in case if your 3D model is already high poly, but in my case I have to do it because otherwise we're gonna have those weird polygons and artifacts. So in order to do this, right mouse button, Arnold tags, Arnold parameters. In the tag show custom parameters, tick on. Subdivision type, let's go for Cat Clark, iterations 3. Okay, maybe even 4. Okay, cool. Now we can just rotate our Arnold Sky and find the position that highlight our object in the best possible way. Also, what you can do is to add a color to the add color here. It's gonna affect the overall look. Basically, what you're doing here is you give your metallic attribute color. You can play around with it. It's up to you. It's more like a design stuff. What else you can do? You can go to Thin Film tab and add a bit of it. What else you can do? You also can copy paste your Arnold Sky, make another one, and rotate it again in order to highlight those areas that was dark or didn't have enough reflections. Okay, I think I'm happy with it. Last thing to do, let's go to Arnold Sky and in main tab turn off camera attribute. And second one, in second sky, what does it do? It basically it still affects your object, but you can't see it in the viewport. Therefore, you won't see it in the render. Let's go to render settings. Let's choose Arnold render, camera AA. Let's stick to 6 for 6. Okay, yeah, 6 should be fine. Red depth. By default, I believe it's 1, but you can make it 2 or 3. Basically, what does it mean? It kinda see by adding more red depth, increase the amount of reflections inside of reflection, this kind of thing. Save where to save, format, depth 16-bit, alpha channel, and make it 2K, current frame. Okay, let's save it and press render. And again, clean scene, turned off subdivision surface. Let's go to Redshift, render view, drag and drop it here. Let's delete our Arnold material and delete all other text from the object if you had one. Create material, Redshift material, standard material, drag and drop on the object. Redshift lights, dome light. Press on that button to see object in the preview. Okay, right mouse button, redshift object, geometry tab, overwrite, and turn on tessellation if you need to smooth your object. If it's already looks good and you can't see any artifacts, then you just skip this step. Okay, cool. Let's go to our material. And here, panel type, let's choose metalness. Let's make it 1. And the color, let's make it almost white. So basically we just did pure metal material. Now let's go to our dome light. In general tab, pass and choose your HDRI. Okay, looks great. Now you can copy paste this dome light and rotate it a bit in order to again highlight those areas that hadn't any reflections, like this one, for example. This step is kind of optional, it's more about the art direction. Okay, I think it works fine. Now let's go to our dome light, general tab, and backplate, turn it on, and the same we need to do for our first dome light. Basically, what does it do? The object, kind of dome light HDR still affects the object, but you can't see it in the viewport. Therefore, you can render the object without kind of background, and you would have transparency on the background. Let's go to render settings, choose Redshift, output 2K, current frame, save where to save format, turn on alpha channel, Redshift, samples mean, let's go for 16, samples max, let's go for 128. Okay, should be enough. And press render. Okay, now let's do the same with Octane render. Let's go here, Octane live viewer window, drag and drop it here. Sorry. Turn it on. Let's go to settings. Path tracing, max samples 256, diffuse depth 8, specular depth 8. Okay, should be fine. Material, metallic material, drag and drop on your object. Then Octane, oh sorry, not it's here, objects, HDRI environment, and here press on image texture and choose your HDRI map. As you can see, we still have those artifacts, therefore we need to smooth the object. Right mouse button, Octane text, Octane object tag, subdivision group, subdivision level, let's go for 3. Okay. Additional step, you can add camera tag on your camera, Octane camera tag. And in post-processing, you can play around with bloom or glare or something. And also you can turn on your camera imager and play with different kind of filters. Basically, it's like Instagram filters. But I'll leave it as turned off for this part. Okay, let's go to our Octane Sky and rotate it a bit in order to find the right. Okay, let's go to render settings. Octane, output, set up your resolution, 2K in my case, current frame, save where to save, format, alpha channel if you want to have transparency instead of background, and press render. And if you need transparency instead of background, sorry, I forgot to say, you need to go to Octane settings and here turn on alpha channel. And only in this case, if you turned on alpha channel here in Octane settings and also in save alpha channel here, then you will have transparency instead of black background. Okay, done. So now let's go to After Effects or Photoshop or Affinity Designer or any other software that you are using to adjust our render slightly. Okay, so in my case, I'm using After Effects, but everything that I'm gonna do is doable in any other software. I'm just gonna show you the some tips and tricks, and then you can replicate in your program. Okay, so we have our render. First thing, I'm gonna add a background. Then I'm gonna apply curves to our object. Okay, it already looks good. Change color of the background. Okay, it's fine. What else? You can add a bit of vibrance if you want to your render. I think it doesn't do much, so I'm skipping it for now. And there's additional step. You can also add LUTs. You can find them on the internet. Just type in free LUTs. Basically, it's like Instagram filters, color correction presets. I'm gonna do this by standard inbuilt LUTs in After Effects. Okay, I'm gonna stick to this one. Maybe change the color. I think I'm gonna go for the gradient. So basically this is it. The overall workflow and technique, I think they are quite pretty straightforward. Thanks for the watching, and don't forget to subscribe and press like buttons. It helps and motivates me to work on the tutorials further, and hopefully see you soon. Bye.